Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Hope that your neck doesn't hurt because mine does. You would think that after so many years of sleeping, I would know how to do that without making my neck feel like it's being stung by 3,000 hornets, but no, I can move this way. I can't move that way. My neck is... But please forgive me for my foul language because today we're talking about Holy Grail fragrances for summer. Some of the best ones out there if you want to smell absolutely amazing, fantastico, muy gudo. What? For summer. Those high heat situations, these crush. And technically, I got 12 for you. A couple extra ones just because. All of these are linked in the description below. Let's get kicked off. Let's get started off with Mugler Cologne. Now this is now known as Come Together. Yes, they stole it from the Beatles and made it their own. Mugler Come Together Cologne over me. Yeah, this stuff basically, all you need to look for is the Mugler Cologne. That's green. That just... like lightning bolts into my brain. I promise I will stop complaining about it, but I'm probably gonna look a little like this today. Mugler Cologne is a classic at this point, a modern classic for men. It's classy, it's clean, it's soapy, it's easy to wear, and it's a compliment puller. And they tried to turn this into a whole line. They gave it a shot. Like there were some limited edition flankers of this release of this fragrance, and they also came out with the whole line where they changed it to Come Together. They also had Fly Away and a few others, but it didn't take off in a huge way. And yes, this is a monstrosity sized bottle that functions as a splash rather than a spray. They don't all come like this, of course, and I would suggest getting the spray. I mean, it's cool to have the big splash, I guess, but it's not as functional. Oh, nice. You smell good. By the way, I don't suggest you actually ever tell anybody that they smell good like that. It won't work well. So this fragrance here makes use of neroli, citrus, and musk and actually smells similar to original vetiver from Creed, only it's much, much, much more affordable. So Mugler Cologne kicking us off right. This will always be one of the better summertime fragrances for men out there because it just does pretty much everything you want. Like I said, fresh, clean, classy, but at the same time, very easy to wear, a good casual scent, a compliment puller, smells more expensive than it costs, and nowadays, overlooked. So kind of under the radar a little bit. I know people that have been into fragrances for a long time will be like, no, it's not. It's not overlooked. Everybody knows about that. Not anymore, they don't. Not like it used to be, son. The next one on the docket, Dior Homme Cologne. Good old Dior Homme Cologne. You cannot go wrong with this one. It is a little pricey, so there is that because it's a Christian Dior. But in terms of just the scent itself, it smells really nice. And it does make you shrink in size. What the? I'm Jean-Claude Van Damme's long lost cousin right now who got 1/100th of the talent. Can't even do a full split. But yeah, Dior Homme Cologne, this is a summertime staple. It's another one that people absolutely love. So if you're after that, I mean, honestly, pretty much all these fragrances are compliment pullers. So I think no more talk about compliments for the rest of this video. Just understand all of these down here are good. But this one, really well known for smelling like an iced lemonade. That's what people will say. Very brisk, fresh, clean, bright, citrusy, very, very pleasant citrus. There's like a touch, a faint touch of rind in there, citrus rind, but don't worry, it's not overdone. The only real drawback with this is the performance is not fantastic. So there is that. That being said, it is a little bit of a common theme with fragrances that are made for summertime, you know, fresh, citrusy type scents that the performance will be a little bit subpar, especially compared to like fall and wintertime beasts. So it's not exactly fair. It's not really apples to apples, but you know, be aware of it. Oof. It is so good though. Now, like I mentioned, this can be a little bit pricey. And it's one of the more pricey ones we're gonna talk about here today. Maybe not the most, but one of them. But one thing you can do to cut down on the price of this fragrance, or really any fragrance, is use these codes. I have new ones for Maple Prime and also Gift Express, so you can check those websites out. You know, go ahead and take a look at their designers, niche, and clone fragrances. And if you find one for a good price, use the code to make it even cheaper still. The Maple Prime one, for what it's worth, does come with free shipping as well. Then there's also codes for JOMASHOP, as you can see right here, that work within the JOMASHOP app. And then also codes for the Perfume Box, Fragflex, Max Aroma, Twisted Lily, and many more. And also, if you're after clones, Perfume Box, you gotta check them out, really cheap. The next scent that is a holy grail that you need to know about, Prada L'Homme L'Eau. Look, Prada has basically abandoned L'Homme, and I will talk about it every time because I want them to know, don't abandon it, please, don't do it. I think they're actually coming out with a new one, a new line of fragrances, so yeah, I don't know that we're getting any L'Homme fragrances for a while or ever again. But right now, today, in the year of our Lord 2025, you can still find Prada L'Homme L'Eau pretty easily. If you're watching this in like 2027, all bets are off. Who knows, man? Who knows? I don't know. Oh, by the way, did you guys hear that Prada bought Versace a while ago? Like a little while ago? I maybe should have talked about that in a video already, but whatever. I do wonder what that's going to mean for Versace. Like, do their fragrances change? Does it stay the same? Do they release more fragrances, less fragrances, the same amount? Who knows? But yeah, just food for thought. Anyway, Prada L'Homme L'Eau, this is in typical Prada fashion. Very classy. It's got that iris note in there, very prominently. Kind of a powdery, soapy, clean iris with a nice bit of sweetness to it. Also quite fresh as well, so very easy to wear during summer or spring, early fall. Also has similarities to Prada L'Homme Water Splash, which came out after this one, but that one comes in a bigger bottle size, a different bottle style as well. And while that one's solid, it's good for summer also, and you could easily wear that during summer, obviously. If I were gonna keep just one, I think I would keep L'Eau at this point. Slightly better performance, maybe a little bit higher quality smell to it, but Water Splash, real good too. Let's throw it back with the next one with Lacoste L1212 White, or depending on where you look, Blanc. And this is the original L1212 White. This one is the Eau de Toilette. And this used to be part of a whole colorful line. They had yellow, red, green, blue, black, just a bunch of different Lacoste colors out there. Pick and choose your favorite. And then they were like, the L1212 White sells the most, so now just everything is that. Cool. So this is a scent that a lot of people overlook. They'll be like, it's a Lacoste, it's L1212 White, it's whatever. You know, it's boring, it's generic, it's Lacoste, right? Who cares? But I have always thought this stuff is great for summer. Actually smells really friggin' good in the air here. Like, really good. A little bit like candied, kind of like a nice sweetness there. I'm acting as if I've never smelled this before. In terms of notes, this actually has a lot going on. You've got floral notes in here like ylang-ylang and tuberose. You've got citrus in here. You have cardamom, rosemary, vetiver, and leather along with cedar as well. So a bunch of different things going on, but at the end of the day, it is typical Lacoste. And by that, I mean it has a sporty edge to it, obviously. You know, it's a great warm weather scent, but like most Lacoste fragrances, it's also like some of these over here, a touch classy. And the reason that that's important for a lot of these fragrances is it gives it that versatility. It works extremely well if you're wearing it to work or just casually around or, you know, outdoors when it's really hot outside. It works well doing all those things. But then if you want to, you could wear it to something more formal, again, in the middle of summer, and it's gonna smell great. Performance on this one is again so-so, but the fragrance itself absolutely crushes, works extremely well, and it's a great jack of all trades kind of fragrance to have in your collection. I also really like Lacoste L1212 Yellow as well, if you can scoop that one up. But the one that made the biggest impact, of course, that one. Let's go with another white bottle. This time it is Panache from French Avenue. French Avenue. So Panache looks like a gravy boat or a sailboat or a, I don't know, a laser gun. Could that work? Kind of. Yeah, a little bit. And it's a clone of Pacific Chill from Louis Vuitton. I don't want to eat that. Go away. So with this one, you got a lot of citrus. You've got grapefruit and orange in here. Blackcurrant gives you a nice tartness, but it works alongside those fruits very well. Also have mint in here, a nice bright green mint, not like an overly sugary take on that note. And then also some ambroxan, musk as well as it dries down, basically just keeping things very fresh. Longevity is solid, sticks around for a long time. Quality very, very high. And while there are some other Pacific Chill alternatives out there, if I were gonna pick just one, this is probably the one that I would go with, the first one I would think of. And so if you're a lover of Louis Vuitton, but you want one on the cheap, there you go. Where do we go next, guys? Where do we go? You know what? I have to do this. Aqua de Joux. The Eau de Toilette. This is the new iteration of Aqua de Joux Eau de Toilette. You can tell by the new style bottle, this little gradient that it has, where up top it's frosted like the original Aqua de Joux, but as you get toward the bottom, it becomes clear. And also they slightly changed like the wording design on the front here and everything. So Aqua de Joux has always worked. It has always been a holy grail for summertime. Now, of course, there are people out there who don't like Aqua de Joux. You know what we call those people? Wrong. I'm just playing. If you don't like Aqua de Joux, here, let me move that away. Yeah, just, there we go. See, it's gone. You're not wrong anymore. But yeah, the original Aqua de Joux, as soon as that came out, man, it was everywhere. It was everywhere. Everybody and their mother had it. I had it. I had too many bottles of it, okay? I was in the mall every day. Ow, my neck. Ah. I was in the mall every day, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, malls haven't existed for what, like 55 years? How old are you? You're a vampire, you're Nosferatu. Nah, man, the mall is still going on, okay? It's still a thing, all right? Quit judging me, bro. But yeah, I used to be at the mall every single day. I would spray unholy amounts of this fragrance, okay? And like, the reactions back then, yeah, that's why everybody bought it so much. That's why people still buy it today. But, you know, as time goes on, you gotta change. You gotta change. You gotta make it more contemporary, more modern. And that's what they did. So essentially what that means for Aqua de Joux is that the floral aspects are toned down a bit. That citrus, poppier in here, a little more of a focus on that. Brings it in closer in line with like eau de parfum and parfum. You know, it makes more sense now when you smell this one and then the eau de parfum and the parfum nowadays, the current iterations. The original eau de toilette stood out a little bit more from those. I love both. I love the original. I wore way too much of it, like I said. I really like this new version as well. So while I have the new version here, because if you go to Macy's, that's what you're gonna find, unless they've got like old stock or something. I would say either one, either Aqua de Joux Eau de Toilette, or frankly, just Aqua de Joux in general, your favorite. And keeping that same theme, Light Blue by Dolce & Gabbana, and this is the new Light Blue. I know that it is frustrating for a lot of people, like so many fragrances are getting overhauled. Like here over the past couple years, it seems like a lot of classic scents, or what you could consider modern classics, are being changed. And you have new versions coming out with tweaked presentation styles, and the fragrances are close. They're close to the original, but they have been changed. And that's what's going on here with Light Blue. Now, the original Light Blue, massively successful, right? People went crazy for it. I was never hugely in love with it though. I did prefer a little bit like Oh Intense, some of the other flankers that came afterwards, but I will always give that fragrance props because it is a huge release, massive. Now this new version, my wife actually prefers a lot over the original. So automatically that makes me go, huh, yeah, that's pretty good. That's not too bad. You know, it never hurts when your significant other immediately says, oh, that's way better. I like that a lot. Because then you just put that away in your old noggin and go, oh, okay, I'll wear that again. But like the original Light Blue, this one is very clean, citrusy, also with a nice clean aromatic edge to the scent. So yeah, it's that type of one that a lot of people are going to write off initially and be like, oh, I hate that they changed it. But then when you start wearing it, it's actually really solid. Also solid, Man Au Fraîche from Versace. I don't know why I said it that way. I was halfway between saying like Versace and something else stupid, and just that's how it came out. So Man Au Fraîche, interestingly enough, smells similar to Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue, just not this Light Blue. It smells similar to the women's light blue, which looks like this. Now, it's not the exact same as the original light blue for women. This is more masculine smelling overall, which it should be because it is man eau fraiche after all. But this is a really great summertime scent that is also quite affordable from discounters and has some interesting notes in there like star fruit off the top. And along with that star fruit, you have citrus, lemon, bergamot, you have multiple woody notes in here, some aromatic notes, some spices as well, cardamom, pepper. Just a great smelling fragrance that has stood the test of time. I know it probably feels like it hasn't been out for that long, but actually going on 2 decades. Yeah, this came out 2006, so before long, it'll be 20. Then after that, it'll be 21, and it can legally drink in the US. Man eau fraiche still absolutely crushes, smells fantastic. That nice sweetness mixed with freshness, a tropical edge. Really, really well done. Got Allure Homme Sport next, but this is not just the regular one. This is cologne, Allure Homme Sport cologne, which actually smells similar to Dior Homme cologne. And Dior and Chanel really are kind of tied together in a lot of ways, right? Like Sauvage, Bleu de Chanel, they always get bumped up against each other. Which one is better? Like it's always talked about. Well, they both have their own versions of cologne, and both of their versions of cologne smell similar. So yeah, go figure. Now in terms of notes, Allure Homme Sport Cologne has way more going on than Dior Homme Cologne. A lot of citrus in here, 4 different types: orange, bergamot, grapefruit, and lemon. Technically, I think 2 different types of orange, so you could stretch it out and say 5 different types of citrus. And then going along with those citrus notes, you also have neroli as well, so really boosting up that sparkling citrusy scent profile when you first spray this on. As it dries down, some fresh spice, some woodiness. It does have a little bit better of a sticking power compared to Dior Homme Cologne. It does hit also a little bit more sharp off the top compared to Dior Homme Cologne for me, but not in a bad way. Extremely well done, sometimes overlooked in the Allure Homme line, but definitely worth knowing about, and check it out if you can. Next up, we got Theorem from Rue Broca. Almost sounds like a member of the Sopranos or somebody that hung out with them. Rue Broca, or maybe Godfather, something like that maybe. Citrus Woods Musk smells similar to Bulgari Tiger, a very, very, very good alternative to that fragrance. And this one sometimes you can find for an absolutely amazing price online at discounters. Smells luxurious, high-end, fresh, sweet, even almost slightly syrupy sweet when you spray it on. Quality is amazing for the price that you pay for this one. And I know there are a lot of alternatives to Tiger out there. There's a bunch. But when it comes to that fragrance, basically the first fragrances I think of as good, cheap alternatives to Tiger is this, and then also Tarothi Blue. And there are other alternatives than those. Those are just the first 2 I think of, the first 2 I would tell you to check out. Jimmy Choo up next, Man Aqua. Big JC, Jimmy Choo. Jimmy Choo Man Aqua, kind of a funny one in the sense that if you've smelled a whole bunch of fragrances, you'll smell this one and think to yourself, yeah, nice, nice. Nice. That's about it. That's about the extent of what you may think when you first spray this on. Because it, frankly, has been done. You know, it's like citrus, fresh spice, aquatic notes, of course, little aromatic touch, you know, a semi-sweet aromatic touch thrown in there as well. But it works. It's kind of like Coach for Men Blue. That fragrance as well, not super exciting, but when you wear it, people love it. You get great reactions, and for how cheap it is, you just kind of have to go, okay, fair enough. Like, if it works that well, we'll roll with it. And I will say Coach for Men Blue, a little similar in how it comes across to Jimmy Choo Man Aqua, but between those 2, I think Man Aqua is the better fragrance. So if I were gonna pick just one, it'd be this one. So this can just be one of those inexpensive summertime, anytime fragrances that you can pick up on the cheap and wear anywhere and get great reactions, way better than you might expect for a fragrance like that. Because sometimes myself, other people as well that I've spoken to, they'll be like, I'm gonna wear this super high-end one. People are gonna go crazy. The quality, nuts. The performance, insane. Nobody has smelled something like this.
I'm going to unleash it.
You spray it on, you're all hyped up, you're like, I smell sick. Move your arms a little bit, catch it in the air, and you're like, yeah. Wow. Then you go out to whatever function or party or whatever you're going to, nobody cares. And then there's some jerk off there wearing this. People are like, oh, what are you wearing? It smells great. I've actually had that happen before at a work event. I was so peeved. So peeved. It was like right after when I had opened the channel, because I can still remember it. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, this is like, my coworker was a nice guy. He was a nice guy, but I know I smell better than him, dude. Come on, dude. But yeah, that happens. So yeah, this little thing right here. What can you do? Last up, Paradise Garden, Jean-Paul Gaultier. So Paradise Garden, really, you could pop in Le Beau Le Parfum here, or Le Beau Eau de Toilette. But I will say Le Beau Le Parfum for me, like middle of summer, is a bit too much. Like during the night, I would wear Le Beau Le Parfum, but if we're talking during the day, it's just got a little bit too much going on as far as like the syrupy sweetness that it has. It's a bit heavy. So I would reach instead for Paradise Garden or Le Beau EDT, or even Flower Edition. But Paradise Garden, this stuff absolutely slaps. Fantastic tropical sweet scent that does have enough freshness to offset some of that sweetness. Also has a tropical feel to it, a tropical vibe to it. You've already seen some other fragrances pop out after this one that kind of smells similar to it. It's always how you can tell if it's a pretty good scent profile, if you have brands immediately going like, ah ha ha, rip that off right now. So Paradise Garden, gonna wrap this up quick. I would go with that. I think it is a great release for summertime, springtime especially as well, and early fall also. So there we have it, guys. 12 different scents that during the summer can work extremely well for you, kind of covering a lot of bases while still keeping it very fresh. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Let me know what to you is your summer holy grail. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.